Hey guys, welcome to CoMA Pirate Radio, where we as esoteric pirates slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, talk about the map. Now, it's interesting that it's either map, singular, or maps, plural. There happen to be a lot of different maps, apparently. And we're going to get into that soon, the sidereal versus the tropical map. This is the solar party paradigm cards, the deck. I've been really focusing a lot on the shorts for these. Push the cards, push the cards, push the cards, market the cards, because they tell me to. I hear voices. I hear her voice a lot. Anyway, this is story time with me, okay? This is where I just press record and I get a little bit more time than 3 minutes. The 3 minutes, wow. I gotta speak fast and I gotta stay on point. I meander when I speak. There's a lot about angles and curves. And being an esoteric pirate, you study these things, right? You study and you look at astrology, you look into numerology, you pay attention to knowing thyself and learning about thyself, right? And you contemplate duality and non-duality. You contemplate why you do things and why you say things, right? Stop it. She's messing with my seat. Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how I came up with these cards, because I have been pushing the cards so much in these shorts, and it's like I just wanted to, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to watching me on all the other platforms, thank you so much, first of all, for watching, but also introduce myself. I am Mystic Eve. Now, that is me. My name is Eve, and I like it when people call me Mystic, because that's what I am. Anyway, I've always been a mystic. I've always written for the Akashic Records. Those records, the manuscripts of a mystic, are published on Amazon. I also share on my Patreon account manuscripts of a mystic that are current, which is my personal writings that I write for the Akashic Records. Now, I did this before I knew what Akashic Records were. That's most of my experience in this incarnation has been learning names for what I do. Oh yeah, I'm that. I do that. And oh, that's what I do that for. Okay, that makes sense. It's a memory, right? I remind myself. My journals were all about reminding myself what I am, what I do, and how I communicate. Now, when I had a baby, kind of unexpectedly, I ran off into the jungle because I am a hermit. I know that might cause a little bit of dissonance, but I do prefer to stay in the shadows. I do prefer the hidden spaces. I do prefer hermetically sealed information. And so I moved away as far from civilization as I could get and experienced the wild, really. And what I mean by that is an hour and a half away from any paved roads. See, the wild starts where the roads end. All right, there has to be an end to have a beginning. I also witnessed the time that I was there, the development coming in and taking over, because it is everywhere in the whole entire world. So right before the big change happened, when the world shut down, I had already been working with CoMA, the Center of Mystic Arts, as an egregore. And I'm a natural magician, so not like pulling rabbits out of hats. I kind of follow them down holes more than pulling them out of hats. And I definitely don't like holding them by the ears. I've never liked that. Anyway, I mean, I did do it once when I was a kid. Maybe that's why it's so prominent. Stay focused. But I do remember as a child, and then I cried because I thought I hurt the rabbit. You know, I was little, and I held the rabbit. Sugar was his name, my rabbit. I held him by the ears. I picked him up. Anyway, stay focused. I wrote it all down. And during this time of shutdown, alone in my magic temple in the middle of the jungle before the colonization happened, the big wave, I went into Gnosis and channeled these. When I went into ceremony, the intention was, tell me what to do. I'm yours. To the divine, to God, to the mystery, whoever it is I'm praying to, please tell me what to do. The whole world is shut down. It was so crazy. It was insane. And it was a very powerful feeling of ascension. And when I came back, I saw the solar party paradigm as a whole. And they told me very specifically the echo when I came back to, coming back to where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? It was bring this to the people. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, the universe and I have a very special relationship. Anyway, that's where these cards came from. Now, I was always into astrology. I was a huge stargazer. I can still feel the heat from the hood of my truck because I used to drive it out into the middle of the horse pasture because, I also have stayed very attached to these things on this planet. I think this is why I only come back here. You are the reason I'm here. She really is. These guys are gorgeous. The only reason I come back to planet Earth. Anyway, so driving out in the middle of the horse field and climbing up on the hood of my F-150, named Red Wine because she was like burgundy and red, and stargazing for hours. I never owned a TV. I think I did for a short period of time when I was married for a long period of time. But I also remember before that, I had an old Subaru station wagon I called the Subi Monster. And it had to have been weeks because the memory is so clear. Trying to map out the entire constellation in the pattern that the book that I had with glow-in-the-dark sticky stars on the hood of the Subi Monster. And I also owned the book that was called The Only Astrology Book You'd Ever Need. The only astrology book you'll ever need. Yeah, it was purple. You remember it? A lot of us had it. And I did study it a lot, but I also had a lot of other things I do. I like doing a lot of other things, and I wasn't going to become an astrologer, right? I was just a star fan. So when I channeled these, it was like I don't claim to be an astrologer, even though my brother, bless him, he was like eyebrow raised. He's like, you are what you are. You're an astrologer. I'm like, yeah, I definitely have been interested recently in wanting to take some classes and learn more. But see, this was given to me by the energies in the heavens, the heavenly bodies. And it is a paradigm that you can use whether you're an astrologer or not. If you are an astrologer, it is a fun way to paint pictures and have a good laugh, and it's so much more enriching when you know astrology, because this gives you these characters, these avatars, the archetypes. They paint pictures, and they're new. They're not old world. And that's why they gave it to me. That's what they showed me. They were like, oh my God, I don't like quoting what the divine said to people, but it came to me in that they need to be able to identify with us again. And that means not an old world archetype that, God of the ocean. I don't know. It was just, these guys showed themselves to me. And then when I studied the astrology, I was like, wow, this works. It fits. It's absolutely useful to get to know the stars without spending a lifetime learning about astrology. So, to wrap it up, I've got to talk about the two different maps that I've noticed. I've been studying. It started with studying oppositions. And then I started noticing, because I never followed astrologers before on social media, but I started to. And I noticed, I was like, but I thought this planet was in this sign. Chola. And then this person is saying it's in that sign. How can, what? How can this be? How can it be in this sign and that sign at the same time? And then I found the tropical versus the sidereal. I'm like, the sidereal? It's not pronounced sidereal, but I did notice real And then I hear this echo. There can be only one real. The feels are reals. That came to me a while ago. Oh my God, when reels first came out. Oh God, the feels. I'm an empath. I feel everything, which is why I'm a hermit, which is why I moved out in the middle of the jungle to raise a baby. And which is why I'm very awkward in crowds. And I mean, I'm Libra, so I can deal with it. I'm adaptable, okay? I can work with what I got. So when looking at the map, I'm like, why would there be two maps? Why would you even say that the heavenly body is in this sign when it's not? Turns out that the tropical zodiac was developed around the Gregorian calendar. Go down that rabbit hole. It's for agriculture. It's for controlling time. It's for fixing time. It's for manipulating and boxing in. Stay put. It's for control. It's for, this is when you need to do this, which wraps up into religious ceremonies, and this is when you do this, and that's when you do that, and I'm telling you to do this, and now you have a calendar that will tell you what to do. It's control. Well, the interesting thing about now is it's all changed. We have a whole different perspective now. Everything is shifted, and we know for a fact that we do not have a fixed cosmos. The macrocosm is not stagnant. It moves. It's even changed, like since the tropical zodiac started, it's changed like 24 degrees or something like that. So these are for magicians that want to use the energy that's in the sky now. I want to talk to whatever energy is up there now, right? I want to know what's above me. I want to know what's below me, what's to the east and what's to the west. I want to know the real thing because the feels are reals. To use the energy, you got to know what you're feeling. And if you're thinking about that Venus is in Virgo, it's a very different feel than Venus, the planet in the sky, is actually in Leo still. I mean, they all move, right? You know that. Counterclockwise. That tripped me out too in the beginning. Why is everything going backwards? Retrograde. Orientation is important. I talk about that a lot in my shorts. I'm trying to keep these under 20 minutes, so we're going to wrap that up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to CoMA Pirate Radio. You can order these cards on the website, centerofmysticarts.com. CoMA. And that's why this is CoMA Pirate Radio, the voice of Center of Mystic Arts. I've got a Patreon account. You can check that out to see extended content, all kinds of stuff, you know. There's a lot going on. I got a Discord, which I want to play games with these guys. And I have, but I want to do it with you guys. We can do whole campaigns. Anyway, check everything out. And like and subscribe. Don't forget to just hit that thumbs up button. And I remember rolling my eyes about this, but you'd be surprised at how easy it is to just forget. And it's so easy to do to support somebody. Like and subscribe. And write a comment if now you can just have Chat GPT or AI write the comment for you. You don't even really have to write the comment. Just hit that comment with AI button. The real. You know, oh God, it's going to be over 20 minutes, but nowadays it's funny because with AI, people are being like, you can't tell what's real anymore. There can be only one real. But I see it differently than everybody else. So what is real? It's all an assimilation anyway. Like, what is real anyway? I have found personally that it's easier than ever before to know what is real. Because when you see the opposite, which would be what is false, when you're able to study, and this goes back to studying oppositions, when you can broaden your perception and reach into the polar opposite and see what is false, it's a lot easier to see what is true. Or to recognize what is true. So anyway, I will continue to do the shorts Monday through Friday and the longer content on the weekend. Anyway, whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light and shadow. You got to remember the shadow. And don't forget your magic bag. It's full of everything you need. Until next time, stay tuned. Ciao.